Hello everybody, my name is Ken, and today I'll be sharing with you my thoughts on the differences between plant-based and vegan. So I've been plant-based vegan for about 5.5 years now, although the word vegan is a label that I use with a lot more hesitation these days. And so I'm going to explain that a little bit more in the video, because I've been doing a lot of reflecting on what these words mean. Now I do just want to make a disclaimer that this video in no way is meant to cause any hate or call out vegans. I think everyone has the freedom to label themselves as they want. What I'm doing here is just sharing my thoughts on the language and thinking critically about what we call ourselves. So the word vegan has a very strict definition. If we look at the Oxford definition, it says, a person who does not eat any food derived from animals. So now let's look at the definition of plant-based. It means a food or diet consisting largely or solely on vegetables, grains, pulses, and other products derived from plants. So pretty self-explanatory, but let's dig a little bit deeper. So if we look at veganism, it's based on exclusionary principles. So what that means is that it's a label based on what it's excluding. Whereas if we look at plant-based, it's an inclusionary label. So it's based on things that it includes. Now the word vegan kind of fascinates me because in all areas of my life, I can't think of any exclusionary labels that I use. So if I label my gender as a guy, I don't identify as not a girl, I identify as a guy. My eyes are brown because they're brown. They're not brown because they're not blue. So almost all labels that I use are based on what they actually are, not what they're not. Whereas veganism is a very defined label based on things it excludes. So because you don't eat animal products, you are vegan. Because you don't include something, you have this identity. And that just seems a little bit off to me, that you base this whole identity on things that you avoid. Whereas plant-based is a label based on things it includes. So because I love lentils, because I love pulses and sweet potatoes, I'm plant-based. So when I first went vegan, the word plant-based wasn't really out there. So vegan was the only label that I could really, hold on to. Whereas now that the word plant-based is out there, and now that I've done a lot more reflecting on what these words mean, I think the word plant-based is a label that I feel more strongly attached to. Just because in all areas of my life, I strive for inclusion of people of different identities, abilities, backgrounds. And I think exclusion, whether it's just in our language or in the way that we live our lives, can lead to a lot of problems, and it's not a great way to go about things. The word vegan is one that I, although it does describe the way I eat fairly well, it's not an identity or a label that I really want to hold closely onto. And of course vegans may say, oh, but we include compassion and love. I think, deep down, the roots of veganism is based on things that it avoids. So those are just my thoughts. That's what I think the difference is between veganism and plant-based. Veganism is based on exclusion, whereas plant-based is based on inclusion. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let's chat more about it. Thanks. Bye.